Pica pica.
Welcome to The Know, I'm Meg Turney. It's a roundup of news. Let's see if you can survive the onslaught. Surviving is the name of the game in Fallout 4's retooled new survival mode. Bethesda announced an overhauled version of the game's masochistic mode earlier this month, but so far details have been a little more scarce than circuits. But one fan dug through the game's files, of course they did, and extracted details about the mode, which does sound kinda rough. Manual and quick saving are disabled for the game. You'll have to sleep for at least an hour to save your game. The amount you can sleep now is determined by the type of bed you're on and how comfortable it is. These changes will be offset by the adrenaline perk, which is automatically given in survival, boosting stats while you're awake and, of course, slaughtering radiated foes. Sleeping sets the bonus down to 0. Other notable changes are most likely disabled features like no enemies on your compass, no fast travel, and the ability for your companions to get up automatically when downed. Also disabled fun, it sounds like. Bethesda has since confirmed these stats are all real, but probably subject to change before it hits officially, depending on that whole fun thing. We don't know a release date for survival mode just yet, but we do have a date for a new PSVR event, which I'm sure you're just as excited about. Sony sent out special invites for an exclusive press event on March 15th. Many expect Sony to officially unveil the PSVR's launch date and price tag, considering we now know the Vive and Rift will both be $599 and up, way up in the case of the Vive. Analysts are predicting that anything below the $499 threshold would be a killing for Sony, so long as they can make their launch window of the first half of this year, that is. GameStop CEO recently may have accidentally revealed that the headset will be slipping into the fall, although Sony was quick to shoot that statement down. Sony, you can go ahead and drop us, another invite, because of course ours got lost in the mail, right? Just along with those Kojima body pillows we ordered. Those made it, I'm fucking with you. In Japan, gamers may soon be able to buy a PSVR in Bitcoins. This week, Japanese financial regulators introduced a proposal for Godzilla's homeland to start treating virtual currencies such as Bitcoin like real money, a move that would strengthen the virtual economy. They said that this would also help protect consumers more. Tighter restrictions on Bitcoin exchanges would be subject to tighter regulations, so people's money doesn't just suddenly disappear if an exchange goes down. Over time, we're most likely going to see more financial regulators around the world making similar moves in order to cut down on the shady activity associated with some virtual currencies. Plus, they want their hands in that Bitcoin pie. Of course, until the internet moves on to some other currency like cat fur or something, which apparently I am nailing today. Somewhere in the world, somebody probably does use cat fur to buy things. Again, nailing it right here. I have one thing for you. By the way. All right, a new tool from Google will allow us to find those people who are using cat fur. You've already found me. So long as they've put a picture online. A team at Google has reportedly developed a deep learning machine that can figure out the location of any non-geotagged photo simply by analyzing the pixels. So now your selfies can help Google pinpoint your location. The future is weird and kind of intimidating. This totally not spying tool was developed by having a neural network dubbed PlanNet, A+ pun there guys, scan millions of geotagged photos to spot similarities in photos geographically near one another. In its trial run, Skynet was only able to guess the continents of the photos at a 48% accuracy, countries at a 28% accuracy, and cities at a 10% accuracy, which really doesn't sound great, but apparently that crushes the rate even the most well-traveled humans can do it. So, you win this round, machines, and probably every other round, really. We all know that the Bat computer would kick PlanNet's ass, and thanks to the upcoming new rating of Batman vs. Superman, it'll probably drop some F-bombs at the same time and give it some hardcore loving. Yeah, that's right, Batman vs. Superman is getting the rated R treatment eventually. The new rating was released this week in a bulletin from the MPAA, which revealed that DC's new superhero beat-em-up would be getting an R-rated special edition when it hits home video. This, of course, comes after the huge success of the rated R Deadpool and will, of course, lead to lots of other copycat movies. As for what constitutes the new rating, it seems to mostly be attributed to additional violence added into the film, but personally, I'm really hoping that Batman and Superman just get it all over with a bang fest, because that's really what we want. And also, Gal Gadot's in there, right? Oh, God, she's so hot. It'll be hard to match the one-ton destruction of Batman and Superman's rated R Brokeback Gotham lovemaking with Gal in there for good measure. But Pacific Rim 2 is gonna try its hardest. The next installment of the mecha that Guillermo del Toro built will now have its new director in Stephen S. DeKnight. DeKnight is most well known for his show running Netflix's Daredevil series, as well as creating Star's Spartacus. But don't worry, that doesn't mean that Guillermo del Toro is out completely, just that he's not in the director's chair. He'll still be producing the next Mecha vs. Monsters flick. Besides, they would only hire someone that was Drift compatible. Del Toro said on Twitter this week that now that Pacific Rim is a known property, they'll be able to make it even bigger and more explosion-y than ever before, which is really saying something. Bigger and Better is also the name of the game for Counter-Strike Global Offensive's esports future. Valve just announced that henceforth and forevermore, all Valve-sponsored CSGO majors will feature a $1 million prize pool, up from the $250,000 they were giving before. The change is due to CSGO's growing esports fan base, which has risen significantly since Valve first started supporting the majors in 2013. When Twitch released its end-of-the-year stats for 2015, CSGO was second only to League of Legends and is the second most played game on Steam to Dota 2. Of course, that piddly sum of $1 million doesn't hold a candle to the $3 million that Valve is fronting for the next Dota 2 major over in Shanghai, but it is still a major step for CSGO. This esports scene is looking for an FPS that can cross the mainstream like some MOBAs have, although some argue, like Bernie Burns, that MOBA is the ultimate game type, so maybe it won't happen. Microsoft is doing everything it can to make Windows 10 more mainstream, and part of that plan has included bringing Windows 10 apps to the Xbox One. Speaking of the Madrid.net conference this week, Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella told an audience of thousands that Windows 10 apps would be hitting the Xbox One very soon. Of course, the Xbox One has had the ability to do this since the console switched to the new Xbox experience, but we haven't really heard any other details. While Nadella didn't say just how those apps will appear on the Xbox One, as in the entire Windows 10 App Store, or more like a curated list of apps, it still does offer a lot of possibilities to Xbox One users like the Office Suite, Photoshop, and a number of others. It's just another step in Microsoft's big Windows Suite convergence plans, which will probably give us more free PC games and obviously piss some gamers off because what doesn't? Just keep the free games coming, Microsoft. Rumors are swirling everywhere about a possible 20th anniversary Pokemon game, especially considering tomorrow's Nintendo Direct birthday event is going to be entirely Pokemon themed. Pokemon themed birthday parties are my favorite. A trademark for Pokemon Sun and Moon has also been discovered by nerd leaks, claiming those will be the titles that are announced tomorrow. But that won't be the only way to celebrate the beloved series for its birthday weekend. The Pokemon Company's official Twitch channel will be hosting a weekend-long event starting on Saturday. The broadcast will feature gameplay of previous Pokemon games, plus devs discussing the game's effect on pop culture. This whole stream will accumulate in a 24-hour marathon of Pokemon cartoons. Heck yeah! It probably won't be as big as Bob Ross, but I'll be there in my Pokemon PJs, which is something I actually own. A game that's been in development since before the first Pokemon game even released is finally coming out this week. Unreal World is a sandbox RPG that's been under construction since 1990. This is, of course, inviting a number of Duke Nukem Forever comparisons, but come on, that was made by an entire team and it still took 15 years. This game, however, was developed by just 2 people for the last 26 years, and it began its long life as ASCII shareware. The developer's website describes it as a survival roguelike, and judging by the game's graphics, well, they haven't really changed it since they first started working on it. But hey, you wouldn't want it any other way. You can buy the game for $10.99 when it hits Steam tomorrow, or you can pre-order the sequel, which is scheduled for Q1 2042. We got jokes. That's it for this whole news barrage. You guys excited for Fallout 4 survival mode and also Pokemon Snap 2? Who else has their fingers crossed that that's a big surprise this weekend? It won't be, but I've got mine crossed. For the latest geek news and descriptions of our ideal Batman, Superman, Gal Gadot love fest, like this video and subscribe to the Now. Scrolling back, cause I fucked up, I fucked up, I fucked up. I can't read, I don't know what I'm doing. I bet my boobs move when I do this. Nobody looked. That's how old my boobs are now. That's the old hat of boobs, when you move your boobs and nobody looks.
Some of us are just about to do our job.
That's just how you know. Just pack it up and go home.
I can't believe I'm say this, but some of us are mature in this office.
Oh, wow. Nobody's too mature for tits.